Hi there, I'm Colin Lamb, aka the Tone Wizard, and I hope you're doing very well wherever it is that you may happen to be. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much for asking. Cheers to you, and thank you very much for the new subscribers who've come to the channel the last couple of weeks. I greatly appreciate it. Now in this video, I'm going to be asking you 10 questions, and I will be looking at your comments in the following days or weeks, and I will probably be making a follow-up video to discuss some of the more interesting or entertaining comments if I feel like it. But either way, I look forward to hearing what your answers are to these probing musical questions. Now I'm going to be giving you my answers to these questions as we go along, and I'm going to be doing my best to drink all of this beer because it's been a long goddamn day for the Tone Wizard. I got a 1-year-old who is sleeping. I got the baby monitor here, and anybody who's ever had a baby will know the tenseness with which you watch that fucking baby monitor. Like, this is what I wanted to do. I'm working on a full album review of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's new album, Petrodragonic Apocalypse, but I want to give that the full time and attention it deserves. But I thought I would make this video in the meantime. Anyways, let's get right the fuck into this here. Let's have another sip. Let's have another sip here. That's a strong one. So, question number 1. What album defines your childhood? For me, it's 1999's Scar Tissue by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was in my mid-teens, I want to say, in early mid-teens, and that album was on. There was like 5 #1 singles on that. Californication, Other Side. I can't remember all the singles off the top of my head, but that was an amazing album, and it completely blew my mind. I bought 3 copies of that, wore them all out, but I do remember one summer when I was up at my family cottage, and I'd be out fishing in my boat, and I would race back every single day for, like, I think it was in June that came out in 1999, and I would race back to the cottage to listen to the top 10 at 5, and like at one point 5 of the songs were all from that album. So that was a massive album for me growing up. Question number 2, what's a song that reminds you of your parent, mom, dad, whatever the hell it is? What's a song that reminds you of them? The one that immediately comes to my mind is it's a beautiful song that I've come to appreciate, especially in the years since my father's passed away. But the Bee Gees, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? And the first time I heard my dad play that song, and he's like, this is the best love. He showed it to me. He's like, this is the best love song ever written. It may have been up at the cottage, actually. But he shows his song. And if you know the song, there's a part when they kind of just drop, everything drops in the music, and one of the Bee Gees just goes, hand. And if you don't know that song, check out a live version of it, because that falsetto is worth the price of admission. But that song always reminds me of my dad, and certainly in my later years, I think I might agree with him. It's one of the best love songs. I say that might be a secondary question to this question: what's the greatest love song of all time? There's a song. I can't remember the name of the guy who sings it, but there's a song called "This Guy" or "This Guy's in Love with You." It's a kind of croony song. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Question number 3, and please do let me know your answers. Just type in the comments 1 through 10 and give me your answer, or just answer one of these questions with a long anecdote. Whatever you want to do, I really don't care. Question number 3: what is a band your friends all like but you can't get into? Now, for me, it would be Tool. When Tool came out, I remember watching the music videos on Much Music, which is the Canadian equivalent, because we have a watered down version of everything that they had in America. But it was on Much Music. I remember watching the Tool music videos, the little claymation videos, and I was huge into metal at the time when that stuff was coming out, but I just couldn't find the energy to give a shit about that. And on the topic of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, which I've been listening to a lot lately, their newer stuff on that album, one thing I will say about that album is a lot of people have been comparing songs like the song Dragon to Tool. And I would say that's like a Tool song where something actually happens. Anyways, Tool is the band for me that all my friends like, but I just can't get into. Sip break. I'm not going to do any editing on this video, by the way, so I apologize if I belch. This is the second one. I had some technical difficulties, and my son woke up halfway through my first attempt. So we're trying something new here. Question number 4. What is a song that if you've been blasting it when you pull up to a red light, you turn it down. So you're rocking along to this tune, singing at the top of your lungs. You stop at a red light. It's a hot, sunny day. The windows are down, and you just turn that one down and just kind of mumble the words under your breath. What's the song? For me, this is a bit of a shameful admission, but I would say it's Third Eye Blind's "How's It Gonna Be." I like the song. I'm not going to defend it, and I belt that song out at the top of my lungs. But if I do come to a red light and it's playing, I turn it down. Question number 5. What is a band that you wish you saw, but now they're gone forever? So they could have, I mean, let's exclude bands that have just broken up because they could always come back, but bands where a crucial member has died. For me, it's Pantera. Now, here's an interesting thing about Pantera. I may have seen Pantera. There was a tour that went around years and years ago, and it came through Toronto, and I know I saw Slayer, but believe it or not, at the time, I was underage. I got snuck into the show, and I may have seen Pantera, but I drank when I say an incredible amount of beer, I probably drank 3 fucking beers. And I may have seen Pantera, but I have no recollection of it. A friend of mine swears that we did see Pantera, and I've always kind of said that I did see Pantera, but you know, as I get a little bit older, the lies that I tell myself become less believable over time. So it would be Pantera. I'd love to see them again. Obviously, you can't. Now, I do understand that they're touring again with Zakk Wylde. That would be worth seeing, but it just wouldn't be the same. Question number 6. What's the best live show you have ever seen? For me, it's got to be the Ween reunion that I saw. Obviously, I was at the show that basically caused Ween to break up in 2011. And then I believe it was 2015 when they reunited. I've had a couple of beers and I'm going to have a couple of more. So accuracy's not the standard tonight. But the Ween reunion, which was actually 3 shows, 3 separate nights, that's the best live concert that I've ever been to. And I'll lump that into one experience because it was. I traveled down to Colorado to see that, and it was worth every fucking penny. And actually, you know what? They say the Mile High City, and they talk about people traveling there to participate in fitness and shit. I was on the 3rd floor of the hotel I was staying in. I was fucking winded every time I had to walk up the stairs. I was absolutely winded. Question number 7. What's a song you just hate? Now, anybody who's been following my channel for a while knows that I don't try and promote negativity on the channel. I generally don't pursue reviewing something or looking into something that I know I'm going to have a negative reaction to. But let me tell you, in this episode of my channel here, I'm going to tell you that I hate that Rasputin song. That that Rasputin. Blah, 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 blah. I hate it. I'm not even gonna bastardize my own bad version of that song. But I just can't stand it. So what's a song you hate? Let me know. Question number 8. What's a song a lot of people hate, but you stand by? You defend the song. This is the opposite of the previous question that I just asked. For me, it's Walking on the Sun by Smash Mouth. It's a great song, and I won't hear any fucking different. It's a weird song, too. It's obviously, it's kind of like a campy throwback to the 60s, and if you actually listen to the song, the lyrics are pretty astute. They're pretty good stuff. One of the lines that pops in my mind when they're talking about the 60s revolution of love and stuff, and they say their kids were hippie chicks or hypocrites. That always stuck with me. I thought it was clever. Maybe I'm reading too deeply into this, but I think the instrumentals in the song are on point, and it sounds like nothing else that was on the radio at that time. And even if it is like a homage or a kind of campy, kind of tropey tribute to 60s music in some way, it's a damn good version. I love the song. In recent years, they've kind of become even more of a joke. I think that the lead singer got done in for, I think he made Nazi salutes on us. I could be wrong about that, but I double check my sources, which I don't have right now, but I think he got done in for making Nazi salutes on stage. Question number 9. What is a song that we as people of Earth should broadcast into the galaxy to keep evil aliens away from Earth? And my answer to this question will be the same answer that I gave to question number 7, and that is that fucking Rasputin song. I cannot stand it. And every time I hear it, it sounds like a party. I don't want to be invited to, or like your buddy, like maybe you've been out at the bar or whatever, and your buddies know of like an after party that's going on. Maybe you could score a little something like that. God damn it, I gotta calm down here. I'm reliving the unbald days here. But yeah, that song is the definition of a party I don't want to be invited to. And I just think that if we broadcast that thing, throughout the galaxy, and aliens are picking up on that, and they hear that, they're just going to shake their heads and be like, yeah, we're going to turn around and fucking go back to our own fucking planet here, because that sounds fucking horrible. Let me know what song you think it is that we should be broadcasting into the universe to keep potentially evil aliens. You know what? To keep them all away. They have no business coming here. We have our own. We got to sort our own problems out before these aliens show up, because they're going to be smarter than us. They're going to be more technologically advanced than us, and they are going to destroy us if we're still listening to that goddamn song when they get here. Final question. Question number 10, and God damn it, I'm taking another sip here. It's been a long day for the Tone Wizard, man. I'm not complaining, but it's definitely been a long day here. Oh, sweet syrup. Question number 10. What is a band you would like to be known? I wrote this question grammatically in poor structure, but I think we can get it through. What is a band you would like to be known as the guy who was fired from that band before they made it big? So what band would you want to be known as the guy who got fired from before they made it big? So, for example, the Beatles famously fired Pete Best before they made it big. So, in my case, I'm going to say I want to be known as the founding but fired bassist of the Doors. So one of the original members of the Doors who was fired. And because you could dine out on that for the rest of your life. You could write a whole book about shit that you made up about Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison's one of those guys, he's kind of like Paul Bunyan. The more unbelievable the story about him, the more people are likely to believe it. And he's dead, so he's not going to refute it. And I think Ray Manzarek may have passed away now, so he's not going to refute it either. But yeah, you could make up all sorts of lies like, they fired me because I was too good looking and I was too good of a poet, and Jimmy just couldn't fucking handle that. You could be like, oh, I actually wrote Light My Fire, but I called it Ignite the Flame. They changed the fucking words, and that big keyboard part was actually a goddamn bass solo, but they just couldn't fucking handle it. And like I say, you could dine out on that for years, like Pete Best did. And the more ridiculous the stories you told, the more believable they would be. So please let me know, what band would you like to be a founding member of, but were fired right before they made it big? Now, please answer all these questions. Answer one of them. Answer two of them. I don't really care. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do look forward to your answers. And like I say, I've got a full album review of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's Petrodragonic Apocalypse coming up this weekend. Look out for that on the channel. And just thought I would try something new here. So hopefully this isn't a total fucking disaster. Take very good care of yourself, and I'll see you later. Oh, yeah.